Hello everyone! Today I will be talking about the role of media in creating mass culture and how it has influenced our generation and continues to do so in a positive and negative way. The impact of radios, televisions, films, telephones, and music in the past has created mass culture. Mass culture is the impact of mass media on the decisions and behaviors of the people. Broadcasting began as a hobby by men in 1920s to entertain the youth and society in general. The role of mass media began to proliferate and became more prominent in the 1930s and 1940s, when the radio became an ionic centerpiece of the average middle-class family room. Radio impacted phenomenal rise of consumer culture in the early 1900s, which brought together diverse social groups into mainstream. Radio began a process of appealing to different needs of different ages and ethnicities, building desires and aspirations, and reinforcing consumer culture. Business realized this wonderful medium radio which could be used to peddle their wares, and they began hiring famous stars like Elvis Presley to do their bidding. Amos and Andy was a popular radio and sitcom about blacks which is sponsored by Pepsodent and led to a growth of stand-up comedies in 1920 to 1950s. Two white men ran the radio show and the cast was changed to black men when the show moved to television. At that time, television was consequently placing a cardinal fixture into society. Everyone, regardless of class structure, had some source of television. This new device would be used for viewing entertainment, watching sports, and viewing alerts made from the president. The robust starting point of media would prove to be positive in the sense that it helped in communication and simply entertainment, as the filming industry began to flourish, and thus the arts in society became more aware and essential. Looking at this at a broader perspective, this drastically improved the economy as it provided greater positions for the working class, regardless of male and female stature. However, the impact of mass media on society began to transcend when advertisements became more incorporated into the television and radio sources. With the increase in fast food chains and various companies, advertising became more efficient and more profitable for the minor companies that would become global dominators such as McDonald's. Advent of movies brought great pomp and images of riches and businesses were more than happy as it promoted consumer culture. People were fed images of cars, designer clothing and more, so radio, movies and media sold extreme form of consumer culture to the world. The music played a substantial facet in the notion that it reached out towards the teens and promoted the counterculture movement. Songs like Imagine by John Lennon persuaded the teens for a life without war and at that time increased the protests for pulling out of Vietnam. Government sold positive images of Vietnam War, which was used as propaganda to keep the public opinion with the government and help enlist new recruits for military. Posters and ads on television gave a rather grim demeanor towards ethnic minorities and the opposition of Americans. Pictures were used to appeal to the average Americans to sell the idea that Japanese had to be stopped. Despite the fact that mass media promoted negative aspects such as increasing bias and propaganda, it gave rise to new stars and innovation in society. In the 1950s and 1960s, rock and roll, a new form of music which drew inspiration from African American music, imbibed popular ideas which resonated with teenagers such as young love and rebellion against authority. Coca-Cola brought stars to swing the jingle in the 1960s. Without mass media, we would have no source of entertainment at all. In the end, I would like to conclude that there is no aspect of human existence which escaped untouched by mass media, be it art, music, dressing sense, aspirations for what one wanted to become, and all aspects of one's life. Mass media influenced all elements of popular culture and continues to do so, for good and for bad. As we begin to move on in life, we should never forget about the role of fundamental parts of our lives, such as media, and how it has evolved into what we see today. Thank you for listening.